Okay, so good morning, everyone. In the last session, we have discussed about the data stream, challenges of data stream. Then we had discussed about the vast data processing layers, storage layers, and processing layer. So, what is the responsibility of the storage layer, and what is the requirement of a processing layer? We had discussed about it, and then we have discussed some application which is regarding to the data stream processing. So these are few applications that will require that is giving us the infrastructure to building the streaming data application. Now in this today's session, we'll discuss about the streaming data architecture. So as you know that when we are developing any system, we require architecture. So architecture will work as a base for our developing system. It will provide us various requirement of the system related to the technical requirement, business requirement, related to the stakeholder requirement. So what are the expectations and what are the constraint limitation that is uh, associated with the system? That is the part of streaming data architecture. Same way, streaming data architecture is a framework for software component. It is built to ingest and process large volume of streaming data from multiple sources. So when we are discussing about the streaming data architecture, one point must be considered, that is data can be generated from multiple sources. And second point is data can be generated in a large volume. So you can find out that these data are generated through the multiple sources. For example, if we talk about the microblogging website such as Twitter, they will find out that the data is generated from different geographical locations. So user can access from different uh, countries, and as well as sometimes we have developed an API which is taking generating and fetching the data from Twitter. So you can find out that not only the humans and machine can also generate the data, and these data is generated in a large volume. So we can say that normal traditional system is not able to handle this large volume of data. So a streaming data architecture should be defined such that it can process a large volume of data, and as well as it can handle the data generated from multiple sources. Traditional data solutions focused on writing and reading data in batches. A streaming data architecture consumes data immediately as it is generated. So when we are working with a traditional system, they are reading a data in batches. So they have batches are a small amount of data. So in the particular batch can be defined by the languages, programming languages. So those programming languages can take that particular batch size of data and process it and perform the required action, perform the required logical operations that is defined inside the software. But it is different for the streaming data architecture, as we know that the stream data is generated continuously. So we have to process and store this data as they are generated. So what happens? Suppose you are uh, creating a YouTube video or you are watching a YouTube video. So simultaneously, sometimes you can see that where you can premiere your video. So in a video premiere, you will find out that whatever the videos is uploaded by the user, simultaneously we can see that. So what is happening here when the video is being uploaded, means data is being generated, that particular video can be seen by the user, means data is being consumed. So both processes are happening simultaneously. So you can find out that whenever we are talking about the streaming data architecture, it should be defined such that whatever the data is generated, that data is generated and processed at once. So there should not be any gap. Otherwise, whatever the services offered by the streaming application, data streaming application, that is not favorable to the user. Next, persist it to storage. Not only the generating the data, we need to make sure that we have all the storage capacity to store this large amount of data, and which is also limited by from various sources. It may include various additional components per user case, such as tools for real-time processing, data manipulation, and analytics. Now, depends on the different applications nature. We can use the different tools to process this stream data in a real time. And this process of the data, you can find out that we have to perform some manipulation on the data. We need to perform the processing of the data. And the last, we have to perform some analysis on the data. So these processes can be differ for different applications. So suppose we are working for a video streaming application, then the tools required for processing a video stream data is different from the other streaming media. For example, if we are using the music streaming media, then we can find out that whatever the tool we are using to process the music stream is not favorable to the video streaming applications. So as you can see that YouTube is famous for the video streaming. So whenever you want to stream a video data, you can use the YouTube application, such kind of application which can provide a video streaming. But when we are talking about the music streaming, the scenario is quite different. So, for example, Spotify is famous for the music streaming. So, in both cases, manipulation and processing and storing of data is quite different. The data nature is quite different, data type is quite different, the rate of generation, data generation is different. So we have to apply the different data manipulation technique, as well as our data analytics team will expect a different sort of solutions from the different data stream. For example, if you are processing a video streaming, we need to find out that what is inside the video, why is it so important, and so on. But, you know, and when we are processing the musically streaming video, we are concerned about the length of the quality of video, quality of audio, as well as we need to be aware about the size of the audio also. Okay, next one. Streaming architectures need to be able to account for massive amount of data. So when we are generating a data stream, we are generating in terabytes to petabytes. So when we are working with analyzing this kind of data stream, then we have to be make sure that our streaming architecture must be able to handle this massive amount of data. So the one point is the best architecture must have a semi-structured and require significant pre-processing. So what happened when we are storing such kind of data? Normally, if we're talking about the micro-blogging website Twitter, then you can find out that Twitter is generating data in various formats. So one single tweet can contain the audio, video, and textual information, and sometimes it can contain the URL, sometimes it contains the images and so on. So this kind of data must be stored in the semi-structured format. and it must be required before the storing of the data. It should be required to pre-process. So sometimes when we are analyzing, when we are processing any tweet, it is stored in some structured format. So we can apply some pre-processing. We can uh, apply some cleaning of the data. We can apply some uh, stemming. We can apply some lemmatization on the data. So depend on the application, depend on the requirement, we can perform the various pre-processing on this data. So stream processing is a complex challenge and so, rarely solved with a single database or ETL. ETL stands for extract, transform, and move. So basically, these are the tools which are required to process the stream of processing. So it is very complex and uh, can be solved by the using the single database or ETL. So when we are working with such kind of streaming architecture, we have to be sure that only using the single tool or single database application for storage of those kind of data is not going to solve the problem. So we need to provide a solution consisting of multiple databases, multiple tools, multiple blocks. So basically, we can define these streaming architecture into uh, various building blocks. One of the building blocks is a message broker. We also call it a stream processor. Second block is a batch and real-time ETL. Third block can be a data analytics serverless query engine, and fourth block is a streaming data storage. We'll discuss about all these blocks. So basically, a message broker or stream processor is collecting the data stream from the source where the data stream is being generated. Real-time ETL tool will process the data in a real-time environment. So whenever the data is being generated, it is processed by the ETL tool. And next one, we have to perform the data analytics. We have defined some query engine, which can handle the different query which is generated by the user. And the last, we have to perform the streaming data. So let us discuss each block one by one. So now first block is a message broker or a stream processor. So message broker are basically takes data from the source and for the producer. So a producer is the source of information which is generating such large amount of data as a data stream. So message broker or stream processor application will take the data from that particular source. Next one, it translates into a standard message format. So depends on the architecture, depends on the tool. The message format can differ, and the stream message broker and stream processor will take and translate the data into the required message format. And after that, it will start the streaming. So you can find out that before distributing the data through the stream processor, it will collect the data from various sources and translate the data into required format. Other component of message broker can listen and consume the message passed on by the broker. So there are other components also associated with the message broker and stream processor, and they are required to interact with the other module. There are two examples of message broker and stream processor, RabbitMQ and Apache Active. So I will suggest you that take this two tool as an assignment and write down a brief overview about the RabbitMQ and Apache Active. Okay, please note down this question. Now, typically stream data architecture will look like this. We have taken this image from this reference. So you can also go to observer.com and find out these images. So you can find out that producer is generating the data in a stream architecture, and the particular data is being processed. So there will be different partition of the storage. There will be different storage pattern. So based on the data nature, it can be divided into various partitions, and then it will distribute it to the consumer. So you can find out that the whole streaming data feature will take the data from the data source, translate into the requirement format, and then stream to the consumer. Now, next block is a batch and real-time media. So, data stream from one or more massive broker need to be aggregated, transformed, and structured before data can be analyzed. So when we are receiving a data stream from more than one massive broker, we need to collect those data at a one place. Then we have to perform some transformation and make the data into some structured format so that we can perform our data analysis. So same way, if we are having a different producer of the data, so suppose you are developing an application which is which is collecting the data from different sources. So some sources is generating the audio format, some sources is generating textual information, some sources is generating video information. So when we are getting these information from different massive brokers, we need to aggregate those information before uh, giving to our data analytics team, and we have to also perform transformation in structure of that. So who will done this all task? This all task will be done by the ETL tool or your platform. The particular platform is you have a, and it support to process and transforming and structure of the data. Or you can choose any ETL tool that is available in the market, and you can perform using the processing and uh, of the data. Then after we have to perform joins, transformation on aggregation of the data. So these are some data processing that we have to perform on this data stream. And ETL tool for streaming data. So some example of ETL tool is Apache Storm, Spark streaming, and WSO2 stream processing. So again, I will give you this question as assignment and write down a brief overview about these Apache Storm, Spark streaming, and WSO2 stream processing. Now, this is your uh, batch and real-time ETL tool. So I have taken this image from observer.com. So these are your different applications, services, sensor and devices. You can find out that your data can be generated from different sources. Now all the data will be goes to your message tool, and their stream query or data stream processor, as we have earlier discussed, will aggregate this data, perform some manipulation on the data, then perform some structure on the data, and give to the required consumers. Your consumer can be any APIs. You can perform some specific action, you can perform some visualization, and based on that data, you can generate some alert also. So this is one of the example of how your data is being processed using the big data stream. Now, a third block is the data analytics or serverless query. So after streaming data is prepared for consumption by the stream processor, it must be analyzed to provide time. So when you are having, you have collected the data, and again you have performed the manipulation, aggregation, and structure of the data by using the. Now you have to be make sure that now stream data is prepared, and it must be provided to the analysis data analytics team, so that data analytics team can do the data analysis operation on these data analytics uh, streaming data. So basically, there are some example of streaming data analytics tool. These example of is Amazon, Athena, Redshift, Elasticsearch, and Cassandra. So these are the different applications that is used for the streaming data analytics. So if you have a time, we'll take one of these applications and trying to take a stream data, and then we are trying to process those data in a real time. So you can find out, you can take this tool and right angle assignment and give an overview of all these tools, how they work, what are the different features provided by those tools, and how they are helpful in developing any project. So question is, write down a brief overview about the streaming data analytics. So I will put this question inside the chat box and at least write 2 points from each student. What do you understand by the streaming data analytics tools? Guys, you have 5 minutes of time and you can write at least 2 points for this question. Please provide the response and 1 or 2 points regarding the data analytics tool. Am I audible to everyone? At least one response. At least give at least 1 point. What do you understand by streaming data analytics tools? And we have discussed about what various points that is related to data analytics tools for data stream. Am I audible to everyone? I'm expecting at least 2 to 3 response from your side. Okay, okay, Adit. Okay, one response from Yati. It is used for real-time computation. Okay, definitely. If you are, suppose you have a multiple sensor network and you are generating some sensing information. Let me a more real-time example. We have some sensor to predict the weather forecasting. So when these sensor are generating stream data in a large amount, then we have to perform the real-time computation. A very good example, I think. At least two more response. Okay. Yeah. What? Suppose we are a good example again. We are discussing the topic of streaming data using the Google Meet. So this is a one example of data stream processing. So suppose I am generating some information. Yati is generating some information. Aditya is generating some information. Now all the information is processed and combined together and then broadcasted to every user. So we have 29 users. So some users are generating information and all other users are receiving those information. So as the software developer, if you think about this situation, so it is quite challenging to write the program for such kind of application. Okay, so suppose maybe one person is generating images, some person is generating text information, some generation person is generating audio information. So all this information must be collected, processed, analyzed. Guys, at least one or two response. Yati has given two response. If anyone has any issues till now, we can discuss that. We can also post the queries or issues related to the data stream architecture in the chat box. I'm expecting one more response, then we'll move further. Aditya, response please. Amina, are you seeing response? Okay, guys. So take this question as an assignment, and please, Aditya, please include this question as an exercise. Okay. So let us move further. So the next last block of streaming data register is a streaming data. So we whatever the information we have, we need to store the information. So what are the challenges while developing the data storage for streaming? It must be a low cost storage technologies because as you know that streaming data is generated continuously and it is generated in a real time. So it will become a large chunk of information. So we need to require a large amount of storage to store the data stream, and that particular storage technology must have a low cost solution. Otherwise, it will become infeasible for any organization to develop and support the streaming data application. Most organizations are storing their streaming event data. So right now, every organization, if they are generating any type of streaming data, then they are storing their data. So this is one of the most prominent area in data analytics. So you can find out that cloud-based systems are becoming popular these days, and everyone is trying to store all the information on the cloud. So suppose if we are discussing the topic of streaming data using a Google Meet, and then we are doing the recording of this data. So where the recording will be stored. So as you know that when you are taking any presentation of a topic on Google Meet, that particular topic is recorded on a Google Drive. So Google Drive is another form of cloud storage. So you can find out that we are also using the storing technology like the Google Cloud, and we are storing all information at that particular. So you can store the streaming data on database, data warehouses, massive Baker, and the data lake. So nowadays you can see that data lake has become a popular entity is within the data analytics and storage technologies. So please write down a few brief overview about the data lake as your assignment, and also include some example of data lake technology. Okay. Now I have taken this step. table again from the observer.com. So in this table, you can find out that we are seeing a different streaming data storage options, and what are the pros and cons of these different storage options. So for example, if we are taking a database or data warehouses, for example, PostgreSQL or Amazon Redshift. So Amazon Redshift is example of what data warehouses. So advantage of this type kind of storage is that they are easy SQL based data analysis. So you can fire your own query to the database and you can analyze all the information. So all the data will be stored in the structured form. Disadvantage of this kind of storage option is it is hard to scale and manage. So suppose if we are storing data in a small amount, then it's quite feasible and it's quite favorable to the customer. But when your data is increasing in an exponential scale, for example, as you know that now in any streaming application is generating a data in a large amount per second. So you can find out that the scaling of these data is quite challenging. So to develop a such kind of system by using these storage options is not uh, favorable. So if a cloud-based storage is fixed, so one example, one option is that you can create a data warehouses on a cloud-based system, but again, you know that it will again become a very costly affair. Second storage option can be your message broker. So, advantage of this message broker is it's agile. So, no need to structure data into tables, easy to set up, no additional components required. And disadvantage of this message broker is data retention is an issue. Since storage is up to text 10x more expensive compared to data lake. So, it is quite feasible and favorable storage option, but it's quite expensive. So as you know that when we are working with a data stream, we have to require a low cost storage technology. Otherwise, we are not able to sustain our application in the future. The last one is a data lake, for example, Amazon S3. So it's again also as I no need to structure data in table, no cost storage, and it will provide you high latency, makes real-time analysis difficult to perform SQL-based analysis. So whatever the normal query-based system you are using for data is that is not going to be applicable on data lake. So you have to write some data pre-processing, data analysis software to work with the database. Now, what are the future of streaming data? So it will be a fast adaptation of platforms that decouple storage and computation. From table modeling to seamless scheme-based development, automation of data plumbing. So you can find out that in a recent scenario, government is deciding that there should be a data storage policy for the nation. So national data storage policy uh, they are proposing is that national data storage policy that whatever this data is being generated by the user within our country, that particular data must have be available to every user or every developer who wants to practice on those data, trying to find out some useful information on those. So you can find out that government is also trying to bring some storage technology. So they are differentiating between the storage and computation of that particular. So you can see that the more focus on the storage of those data, more focus on finding some common standard format for those data or common standard policy for those data. So upcoming decade will be more favorable to the streaming data technologies, how they are being stored, how they are being processed, and what are the different policies of the government and non-government organization to take this. Okay, so guys, we'll have this session to this topic, and we'll discuss the stream computing in our next session. So if you have any question or doubt, you can post in the chat box. We'll have open this session for another 5 minutes. Okay. Thank you for this session. I am closing the recording. Thank you.